This is going to be the... That's the best open to an interview I've ever had.
Are you taping?
Yes, I am.
The love that you look for. Write to me and escape. And
Hey,
give
folks.
my drink back, Jeff Madsen. Hey, give me my drink.
Welcome to another edition of Random Questions on Life's a Bluff. We have the all-singing, all-dancing Tiffany Hot Chips
All week long.
Michelle. Here all week, tip your waitress. As that goes. We're here for some more random questions. You just had one hell of a run at the World Series main event. Caught yourself some drama, but at the same time took home a little bit of moolah.
Cash money.
Cash money. Where do you think you're headed next? What's the plan for Tiffany?
Vegas. I'm going to. No, wait. I just came from Vegas. Disney World. No, not Disney World.
Space Camp.
Space Camp. Going through all the answers. Up next is actually in a week. I leave for Cannes, however you say it. There's a lot of different versions. I'm going to Cartouche Poker Open, and then from there we're going to Aruba. And then later in the year, obviously, it'll be like 5-time Investo Lago, but that is what is up next.
So you're going to pretty much stake out the Vegas tournaments over the other ones?
It just depends. If it's a cool location like Cannes or Aruba, then I'm all about that. I kind of because of acting and stuff need to stay close to LA, but dude, if I can go to Aruba and play poker and like play on the beach, why not?
Not bad, not bad. Speaking of that, what's your favorite stop? Being as you've traveled all over the tour, what was your favorite stop?
So far, Monte Carlo has to be my place of choice, which I think I'll like Cannes as well, because it's on the French Riviera. So that was very, very cool. Nowhere else yet that stands in my mind. Monte Carlo pretty much like took the cake for the EPT Grand Finale.
Now, for the people out there, exactly how frigging expensive is Monte Carlo?
I'll tell you how expensive. I ordered in my room one day French fries that cost me, so obviously with the euro conversion, this is not how they were listed in euros, $12 French fries, and they were not even worth $12. Have you ever paid $12 for French fries?
Yeah, I was in London. But,
That's how expensive it is.
Yeah, that was pretty sucky. Yeah, that's pretty awful. All right, now here's one for you. Do you believe you're a mathematically minded person?
Okay. No, definitely not. Math was my worst subject in school. My dad's like this brilliant math mind, and he would try to help me with things, and it just did not click in my brain. So terrible at math and numbers. Even if you ask me like what's 7 times 9, I'm like, I was just about to try to do it, and then I lost count. That's how bad at math I am. However, as it applies to poker, I get the math of poker, so it's weird. Like number-wise, I don't, but especially from how much time I've spent at the tables, more instinctually, I understand like percentages and odds, even though I may not be able to sit there and like calculate out a number for you.
Okay, that's fair enough. What's the biggest faux pas you've ever committed on a date?
I don't really date.
You don't really date?
No.
You just have casual relationships? Or?
I just usually. I've only really had one boyfriend in my life, which people might be surprised to know. I just don't get involved with a lot of people. There's not a lot of. I realize that relationships are a lot of hard work, and there's a lot of effort involved. And so, generally, the people that I'd be interested in are people I already have friendships with or know really well and become friends with first. So then that kind of omits like a dating stage of like, hi, nice to meet you. Want to go out on a date? So I can't really. I want to say that I've been taken out on a date or two before, but. I want to think that I was really charming and fabulous, and there's been no faux pas. I think guys are more the ones that commit faux pas on dates than girls. Girls are just have to sit there and be cute and have like free dinner bought for them,
That's a good way to look at it, I think.
These are probably questions you ask guys all the time, right?
In some cases, yeah, there have been some very, very good answers off that. But I like yours too because, well, we just found out that you're almost a little lonely. I almost feel bad.
I'm not lonely.
You're not lonely?
I don't really date. I don't go out on a lot of dates. Within the last year, I've been in a relationship, and so prior to that, like high school, college, didn't really date. Like I have to feel really comfortable with someone before I can like go out romantically with them. I guess an interesting date story would be I was at a comedy show once, and the comedian. I guess I'll say his name. I guess why not? Steve Byrne, who's fairly well known, did a show, and then afterwards he like came out and found me, and he was like, "I saw you in the audience. I wanted to ask you out. I thought you were so pretty." And at first I was like, "No way," because there's a very large crowd. So not a faux pas, but I thought that was interesting. I was like, "Holy cow! You spotted me in the crowd," and then he like came out and found me afterwards. He was like, "Will you go out with me?" And I was so flattered that he took so much effort that I did.
So how was the date with Steve Byrne?
he was very forward, which I like take a long time to be comfortable with people. So I was a little scared, and we didn't go out on a date. He was nice, and we went to dinner, and then went to one of his comedy shows. And What Girl Doesn't Like to Laugh? But he was just a little aggressive, and I wasn't ready for that.
Well, that's perfectly fine. Now, there are a few weird things that I found in this world. One of those is the fact that you can ship a crate of bees to someone.
A what?
Bees.
You can ship a crate of bees.
You can ship a crate of bees to someone because, people order them to, like, pollinate fields. Now, if you could ship a crate of bees to one person and have them open it unknowingly, who would you ship a crate of bees to?
Oh, like bees who eat them alive or something?
I don't know. Whatever happens when you
Jeff
open a crate of
Madsen,
bees.
because I ordered a pina colada and he drank almost all of it. Get off my pina colada.
Well,
you better watch out. You're gonna have a crate of bees.
I bought it though. I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's true. He has a point. I don't think I dislike anybody that badly, and anybody that I did, I think just to save face and like not openly have a grudge, I probably wouldn't say. But no, a crate of bees. I mean, I guess it was funny, like. Sure, Jeff Madsen, because he keeps stealing my pina colada.
He's going to town on it.
I'm allergic. I might die.
What really pisses you off in this world?
In this world? I mean, these are going to sound like all the girl answers, but like rudeness and injustice, and when people talk down to people, stupidity really pisses me off. When people are just stupid. Yeah, mostly I guess just like fakeness, and when people aren't genuine, it's just kind of like ugh. But I don't think it's. Oh, you know what pisses me off?
Right.
Driving. Bad drivers.
Drivers?
I'm trying to think. The only time I really get pissed off.
You okay?
Sometimes when I'm playing online, when I'm playing cards online, and people are donkeys and like suck out and make bad plays. But when I'm driving and people are just bad drivers, like not using your turn indicator or swerving or driving too slow, or just being morons. Like.
Yeah, I'm going to interrupt here. I don't normally do this in interviews, but you don't like insincere people, rude people, or bad drivers, and you live where?
In Los Angeles.
It's got to be
So
very
I'm pissed
stressful.
off all the time.
It's got to be pretty bad.
Really, the only time you'll see me be like, I want to hurt somebody is either the other day for the first time I actually want to like throw my laptop like at a wall because of poker, and then when I'm driving I'll be like.
Fair enough. Now, on that line, when was the last time you yelled at someone in anger?
The last time I yelled at someone in anger. Well, okay, I'm going to clarify. I don't usually yell out of anger because I feel like get to the point of anger very often, but out of frustration. I recently yelled at Hollywood Dave in the middle of a conversation, and I don't know, it was a stupid conversation. We both got very frustrated, and he thought I was yelling at him. He was like, stop yelling at me, and I was like, I'm not yelling. It was just this big stupid thing, and so then I finally, to show him that I hadn't been yelling at him, I was just very passionately, frustratedly speaking. I screamed and yelled in his face just to prove a point. So that was the last time. It wasn't just out of anger, it was to prove a point, and I was frustrated. So
Yeah.
Hollywood Dave got some of his action back.
Not bad.
I haven't sent you
Now,
any shit in a while.
Oh, what is your dream ride?
Wow, that question could be taken so many ways.
You can answer it however you want because it's an open question.
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell is her dream ride. Done. Now that we can open it up like that. Okay, guys, sorry we had a little interruption in the filming there. I think we were on the which of the November 9 would you pick, but we came up with, you know what, don't know, not really interested. And
We came up with, it was time to get a drink break. Layne, are
it's
you
all together.
out?
Stone Cold fucking tilt I'm on. No, I'm not out.
Come in this scene here. You're
Four
in-
men just come over and made a horrible ruling. I had another ruling come over. They still made a ruling that was incorrect. It
Did
cost
you
me
swear?
$40,000, and I said, I knew this fucking ruling was gonna cost me $40,000. I said, that'll be a run-around penalty. I said, fuck, I'll give you a fucking penalty.
So 30 minutes, 40,
No.
50. What was the ruling?
Guy makes it $2,600 on the button.
I'm in the middle of an interview here.
It's
Whatever,
okay.
Put on pause.
No, it's fine.
So I make it
We're gonna keep
6,000
going.
out of the big blind. The guy takes 30,000 like he's gonna move it in, and I just
Right.
push my chips in. So he pulls his stack back because he didn't release. So what they did is made him call. Like he couldn't fold, he couldn't anything. He just called. Took all my options away.
That seems like a great ruling.
How could it
Well,
possibly?
he didn't release the chips, right?
Right, but they made him call. They wouldn't.
But
can either
you don't
call
want
or raise.
But you don't want him to like not put anything in. Well,
Why,
depending on
why,
your hand.
why couldn't he fold? They took away his option to fold.
Because forward motion.
No, his chips were in his hands.
But it's still forward motion.
Yeah, but forward motion is only limit, right?
You gotta cut the chips. Nobody knows what you're doing. Since he had a blue chip.
Arguably, you can get a reaction. You go forward with all the chips. They're still in your hand.
I understand.
I mean, all your chips are in your
You
hand.
shouldn't have the option of calling or only raising because that's a great read you could get on a guy. Like, I'm in this, and see you see what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
To get a
Well,
reaction.
you should
It
have
takes
waited.
one of the options away.
That's true. It does. But you want to. But what if you're in a
So once
situation
I
where
pushed my chips in, the guy wanted to fold.
but you don't
But they
want the guy
forced
to
him to
fold.
call and he flopped his set. He had 2 fours.
Oh wow.
Oh my God.
So what are you at? 50?
Cost me 40,000.
Layne, do you like pina colada and getting caught in the
How's that wine I bought you, buddy?
If you're not into
It's not working. Maybe I should
yoga,
do pina colada.
if you have half a
Were
brain,
your lips on here?
you like making love it.
My diseased lips.
I'm not gonna lie to you. You want to be where my lips have been, but
Okay. Where's that?
well, I don't know. You've been hanging around
Kissing Gavin Smith's ass.
You've been hanging around 17
You
years old. I
guys,
guess
there's
your
a
lips.
lady here. I don't
Where?
I don't know why I know this, but I think when I did my random questions,
Where's
I was
the
wearing
lady?
this shirt.
Yes, you were.
I think I was.
I think you
This is
were.
weird.
How's that?
I think I just watched it for the first time like yesterday.
The pad is
Just
Random.
yesterday?
You know, quizzing who the girl was that came in, right?
Right.
know I
Should I
don't
give
have
like a
big
clue?
boobs. I like
Yes.
mine. I don't want
You got
to.
mine. It's fine. I'll
Layne.
She's attractive.
Well,
But
we can
that's-
tell that from the video.
I only
yeah.
hang out with attractive girls, so that's not a really good clue, I guess.
Fair enough.
Moment of stardom.
Okay, folks, back here. Sorry for the interruption. Random questions resuming
November
now
9.
with Tiffany Michelle. The November 9. Out of those 9,
I
do
don't
you have
even
one to
really
pick?
know whoever all the fun people are at the final table.
writing questions.
Obviously, I know the answer would have to be for experience purposes. Probably Chino, even though Wise is not like in the best position, but for experience, poker players, he has potential to do the best.
So we'll go with Chino.
Chino Ream, good luck, buddy.
Now,
Shout out.
we have a special guest section here. We have some random questions made by Jeff Madsen. And we're going to read those off right now. Would you like to read them, Jeff?
Okay, sure.
All right. Now, we're going to get Jeff's broadcasting career underway by debuting him.
Okay.
Well, actually, on random
Right,
questions.
no, I'm gonna go behind the camera.
Okay.
Hey,
Well-
why don't you read them? Why?
I'll read 'em.
It's fine.
all right,
Layne Flack is gonna
Special
read them.
guest reader.
Oh, Layne, can you even read?
If you were president, what the hell is that?
See,
Y'all-
I
You're
knew
president.
What's your First Amendment?
What's your first amendment
Are you guys
as
seriously
president?
asking me political questions right now?
Next.
No, just answer it. Jesus. What? You're president of the United
This
States.
question takes a lot of thought.
But it's random.
Off
Go.
the top of your head. Just
Top
go.
of your head.
Drinking pina colada
Does
and
Make-
getting caught up in the rain.
Okay.
My
Another thing.
first duty
approaching
would to
dumpster
make,
fire.
My first duty as president would be to make online poker playing legal all over the world forever.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Okay,
Wow.
next.
Well stated.
Okay, if you could go back,
But I was reading 'em.
if you go back in time and be playing in the World Series main event with 100 players left as the chip leader, would you do it?
That's a really stupid question. If I could go back in time and
You're
play,
you're a
as
massive chip leader, 100 players left in the main event of the World Series of Poker.
Well,
Would you do it?
I kind of this year was left with 100 players left
Right.
with a decent.
But do you
chip
want
lead.
another shot at winning?
No, who's gonna say no, Jeff? It's a terrible question. Of course, yes.
You are with 100 players left.
Should
Okay.
give you a tough question and an easy question.
Okay.
Balance it out.
Okay. What male would you be reincarnated as if you could, and why?
Layne
Layne
Flack.
Layne Flack.
Because
That one was
it gets
obvious.
a lot of action.
Get some action.
What male would I want to be reincarnated?
Yeah, like any
Barack
male.
Obama, hello.
Maybe you do have options. You could just be with Layne
Rockstar.
Flack and get a lot of action.
If I could be
Barack
reincarnated as a guy, that's a really hard
Flack
question
Obama.
too. But just for time purposes, so this question doesn't take forever. Barack Obama, because I think he
Because
is
you want
going
to
to
be a black.
president.
Because you want to have a big dick.
And I want to break all the. You guys, this interview totally turns.
I want to break
Um,
off every dude.
I don't know.
Be
Let's say
nice.
Barack Obama because I think he's pretty rock star, pretty solid.
Yeah.
He's just cool. He's like badass.
Would you do him?
He has a wife.
Would you do
That
him
was-
and his wife?
Okay. Next question. Would you rather win the World Series of Poker main event or
I know
win American Idol, and why?
Well, American Idol, hello, because there's. I personally think, well, because I love music.
I love
And that level of stardom, in my opinion, is so secure with sponsorship deals and monies and tours and lifelong careers.
Right.
Like even poker players that win the main event, things can fizzle if you lose
Right.
your money, if you whatever. American Idol.
But with American Idol, you still have to be talented after. With poker, it's like you're already a celebrity. You don't have to show anything after.
No, you don't, because if you win it, you're sick talented. So it's not like you have to be even more talented after.
I have one
Jerry
question.
Yang,
I have one question.
Jamie Gold.
If you weren't a smoking hot girl with
Chris
a kick-ass bod, do you think you got deep in the main event? Do you think you'd be having this interview?
No.
What? My job is.
What female poker pro would you go gay for? Honestly.
Well, just because of current rumors.
Or more gay for?
Probably Maria Ho or Christy Gazes. I think they're both pretty fine.
Fucking hot butt!
Thank you.
What,
I like brunettes.
That's
What
all right.
Brunettes.
carpet doesn't match the drapery on both?
I didn't even understand
Wow.
what language you just...
Wow.
Was that like the curtains match the drapes sort of
Yeah.
question, but he couldn't get it out?
Drapery.
Don't
Carpet match
answer
the
that.
drapery.
No, let's just jump next question. Is there another question?
I don't think there is no
What if
curtains.
it's tile?
No curtains.
Is
Tile? Do they clean it?
What if she
what
laminated
percent of
it?
male poker players would you have one night stands with?
None.
1%?
One night stands aren't appealing to me.
Would you rather have unlimited pina coladas or the company of your best friends with you right
What
now?
about the company of my best friends with me, i.e. Layne Flack and Jeff Madsen, and pina coladas?
Like drinking. I need a pina
I might not
colada.
buy you another one after I finish one.
Mind you, Layne Flack is right now on day 2 of the WPG Legends main event. He's on a one-round penalty, which I'm probably sure is over right now, but he's having such a good time with us that he's still sitting here. Like, screw the poker, we
Word.
just want to be here.
Lane, just go back
Lane,
and swear some more.
What are you
so
gonna
can
What are you
come
gonna
back.
do when you get back? Yeah, you have nothing to say. When the fuck did this ever
When I
happen?
open my mouth, I get a penalty. So obviously, you asked me what I was going to do. I'm just going to shut my mouth.
Oh, okay. You're giving me a physical demonstration.
Yes.
Okay.
And their life's your
folks,
answer.
For Layne Flack, Jeff Madsen, and Tiffany Michelle, we have finished another round of random questions that is truly unique, and the Letterman move.
Hey,
Tiffany, I've never
Done.
wanted.
Middle of an
Tiffany, I've
We're
never
all
wanted
done.
you more.
Thank you very much, Tiffany Michelle.
Tiffany, I've
This
never
was
wanted you
entertaining.
more.
If you like pina colada.